I'm gonna call the Thursday, December 28, 2023, 8 a.m. special call meeting to order. Item number 1 on the agenda is approval of renewal of resolution declaring a local state of emergency due to Hurricane Idalia. Any questions, comments in regards to that?
I'll have a motion, sir.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hale, a second by Commissioner Mobley. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 3-0. Mr. Scott, any other items or commissioners to discuss?
Just a couple of things, just informational. We're going to get ready to go out to bid for the clearing grubbing out at the cattle site. I thought I could do it just, do it as a quote, so it's going to be too high to do that, so we're going to have to move that out. A lot of good feedback from the employee luncheon. We appreciate y'all getting behind that, and a lot of good feedback on that. Wanted to kind of get y'all thinking about what your goals are, what your goals to be for this coming year, and be thinking about that, and we can talk more about it later. But I think we all need to work together to figure out what we're going to get to in the next year. I think we made some good accomplishments the past year, but what is it that we want to get to in the next year? So I'll challenge y'all to kind of think through that. Kind of what's our pluses and minuses for last year, and where we want to get to. We always want to reach a little higher.
Can we just contact each commissioner, you privately to kind of discuss their thoughts and concerns on those?
That'd be good.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else?
No. Anything, guys?
Mandy? All right. All we need is a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Mobley, a second by Commissioner Hale. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
Yes.
I'm going to call the January 5th, 2024, 8:30 a.m. special call meeting to order for Suwannee County Board of County Commissioners. We have one item on the agenda, and that's the approval of the renewal of resolution declaring the local state of emergency due to Hurricane Idalia. Any questions, comments, concerns, or motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Perkins. All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Ms. Logan. Any other items to discuss?
Mr. I just have one. Just was going to ask you for an update. I think the guys are back at work from their holiday break.
Right.
They still on schedule to get out here on time.
Well, they really don't have a schedule to leave of when they're leaving. We'd like to do it by the end of the month if they could, but I don't see that happening. I want to have a meeting with their people and our people to see how do we coordinate as we see things. Are they making passes through? How are they handling things? I'm going to try to get that set up first of next week so we can have a better understanding of what we need to do, make sure they know what needs to be done.
So the only thing I've seen, just to be mindful of, is when we talk about some of these private roads that they were going to go down and pick up, and private drives, shall I say, things like that. They have a few in my district, but then the crews came back through, the tree limb cutting crews, and dropped more stuff down. So,
Well, I see them going back down the same roads that they've already been down at least once, some of them twice, I think, and they're still going back, cutting limbs out.
They did that out here. They went by at least twice, if not 3 times. And it's those monitors that see things and, we got to get this one.
Just trying to drag it out.
Is there a way that you could ask those folks to share like their mapping, like whenever they tell you, hey, we've been down this road, these roads here are done.
done, yeah.
And then whenever either we're out riding around or someone calls and says, hey, there's still a big tree right here that's been here since the hurricane, we can send that to you and you can be like, hey, you said this road's done. This tree is just here. These folks are saying this piece is still there. Because you see some piles, y'all all seeing that they have kind of, they got most of it, but they left.
Mm-hmm.
They left enough that the mowers can't mow over it.
Well, in front of my house, you got first they came. You got the pecan tops, And then they came back later and got the tree trunk, the pine trees. I've still got across the street, across the road, a pile of probably, 4 or 5 pecan limbs across there. Another one here, there, and the neighbor's got, it's like, they're scattered and they're not lots of them, but there's still stuff. And so it's like, I don't understand. If you're right there, I just don't get it.
Well, are we going to dedicate somebody to just go and clear all these roads before they leave, or?
Well, our guys are making notes of where that is, so we can report that to them. That's why I want to have that meeting, so we can. What do you need from us, as our graders are out there, as our road crews are out there? What do you need from us, and how do you want it done? DOT wants us to go through them, and talking to Levi, he'd rather us go directly to them. So we're doing a little bit of both. The thing we got to talk about is how long do we want to keep this thing going, and do we want to? I was talking to LT yesterday. He said some of these private roads, our equipment won't even get down, and we got to ask ourselves, what if we do have to get in there later and do something? What do we want that to look like? We could spend a year clearing up stuff if we choose to. It is not our responsibility to, other than having access for first responders or whatever to get down. You got to emailed Leanne with Salmon's office yesterday. She said that they're supposed to meet with the center this morning to talk about, where are they with talking to the governor's office about coming in and doing that from the state. Let me see if I've got that yet. I've not. So we're kind of in limbo on that, but we need to have an exit strategy of how to, and I'm ready anytime y'all are to say we're done with.
Well, my only fear of ending it before the contractors are done is, are we going to be satisfied with the way they left it, and then we ended it, and then they leave and say we're done, and we're like, no, you're not. This, and this, and so the under the LSC and the abilities that we have, and then also any type of funding reimbursement, what does that look like if we ended it, and then we got to go do it ourselves to kind of
good point.
Clean it up the way that we found it.
Because I'm afraid there's going to be just what you alluded to a while ago. They're going to leave piles that if they don't get addressed, when the grass grows back up, we're going to be tearing up equipment out there.
Well, and I'll give you an example. About a couple hundred yards before my driveway, there's a stump about this big. It's probably this long. They came along there and they picked through. There was a pile there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, and it's a log. It ain't a stump.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody stood it up. It's been stood up for me. It's heavy enough that the wind ain't gonna blow it over. But it's been standing there since they picked the pile up, probably a month. Well, when that bush hog comes along there, somebody's gonna have to get on that tractor and roll that out of the way,
right,
or it's gonna tear it up. So my concern is, so if they end up leaving, and there's 4 or 5 other small ends there that the mower could mow over, but it ain't mowing over or across that.
Right.
So there's going to be those scattered everywhere. I'm just using that example because I drive by it every day.
Right.
But even his district, his, everybody's going to have that. What does that look like? How are we going to handle that? We're going to send a tractor with a grapple down just pushing that stuff up into the fence rows, or are we going to knuckle boom it and pick it up? What's that expense looks like? How long can we do it? If the other half of that tree is right across the fence on private property and it's been sawed, meaning the contractor did it, is the landowner going to call after we come get the one out of the ditch and say, hey, y'all came and got the one out of the ditch, but you didn't get one across the fence? Well, we ended the LSC. We can't touch that. Right. Well, you sawed it up, so.
Or we pick it up and accidentally tear up a fence or something,
Anyway, that's my only
There's so
concern.
much
So I
going
don't know how we end it before the contractors say they're done.
Well, let's have a meeting with them next week and just kind of see where we are.
And they may have an exit strategy. If you haven't talked to them about it, let's see what that is and what they're planning.
What you think? White smoke's coming out of your ears.
No, I mean, I'm ready to be done with it. But I'm like y'all, I'm concerned that we get it all done before we quit.
And you make a valid point about funding. You know, if we gotta go do it, we could get reimbursed if we're tracking what we're getting, so, that's
Correct.
But I'm in agreement, you know, if we figure out, you know, talk to them, see what their deal is, and maybe when we come back for the next one, we got a clearer understanding of where everybody's at.
Right. It's the same thing. Yesterday I had to run a couple different spots out there. Like out at, had to run out to the interchange at 137 out there. I was amazed at the amount of piles still on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And again, I think some of it was probably new from, you know, the cutting, but I was looking, I was like, dang, they need to start over with a truck out here. And like you said, even in front of my place, they cut a tree up, but there's 25 or 30 pieces that big around, and the weeds have kind of grew up in it. If you drive by, you don't really notice it, but it's there.
And I still see a good bit, and I think that I don't think they're done with the process of the construction debris, because I still see a lot of those piles around. I don't even think there's roads probably that they hadn't even started on the construction debris stuff.
Now we got reports for some roads that haven't even been touched.
Yeah, so I'm just afraid, am I tired of doing this every 7 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a little cumbersome for the last 3-4 months now, but if we end it,
I'm not
It's
ready.
pretty much been our whole term, ain't it?
I from COVID
to this.
hell yeah.
If it was easy, anybody could do it, guys.
You know, side too, you have a lot of that there. People cut green stuff out there. So a lot of pieces of property is green stuff they're cutting. They clear their
We got
land,
some
putting
of
out there.
that. We got some of that going on too.
Right up here, we got
Yeah.
a plan of pines that somebody got in there with a piece of equipment, got it all the pines cleaned out, all by the road.
Well, I think common sense tells us that if the landowners call in, hey, they didn't get this pile, and somebody drives by and all the tops are green,
Yeah. I don't have
like
any
he,
of
like
that
he
there,
said, that they should have been brown if they was
Yeah.
called by day. I mean, dead by
I
now.
just missed the guy was been last week or week before. I was heading home and I saw where he had pulled some treetops down the road and into the ditch, and they were green. And I stopped, backed up, sat there for a minute, and said, "Come on back, bring another load." It's like,
You're gonna have-
I'm just wondering when the state's gonna say enough's enough and we ain't paying no more, we're done with this. That's what I'm waiting
and I
on.
hadn't got a report lately, but it was over $20 million
Oh, yeah.
several weeks ago, a month ago.
You know, when we first started this, we figured 15 to 20 million dollars. I think we far off the mark. It's gonna be a little more.
Yeah, close to 30 by the time we get done.
Well, y'all got anything else?
No, sir. I think that's all related to that, so.
Just to put on y'all's radar, we've received another $50,000 and we'll be receiving another $50,000, total of $100,000 from ARPA funds. We got to figure out where we want to put it. Do we want to put it? And it's a wide variety of things we can use it for. Just want to put it on the radar and just be thinking about that. Do we want to put it under economic development for those oddball things that come up for borings or whatever? Do we want to put it into, public work items? Where do we want to? We need to have. Nina will want us to have a placeholder somewhere for the money. We don't have to spend it, but we need to say it's going to be for
What about
this.
the land clearing?
We could use it for that.
I would think, this is just me, guys. I would think that if we put it in economic development, that's a even way to spread it amongst 5 districts.
Right.
If you say, oh, let's put it public works and fix roads, well, you might have someone that gets more done. So I would just say, to be fair,
Right.
if you put it in economic development, that's that gift that keeps giving. If it produces an economic development project, which comes back in the form of ad valorem, which is spread out amongst all 5 districts, kind of evenly back in the general. That's just my 2 cents, is to be mindful of all 5 districts and how you break that cookie up if we're going to do a public works project or something.
Is it,
We don't have to identify exactly how it will be. It'll be generic. Right.
Yeah.
Something else on the bridge, 180th Bridge. We got word yesterday was a meeting. They will have it open by the first week of February. So,
Damn, they keep punting that ball, don't they?
well, I think they're going to have an inspection the 23rd. Now that gives them the window to tweak anything they got to tweak, I guess. But it's like, how long? Anyway,
They're trying hard.
Well, and two, the other part of the question is, do we want to have any kind of formal opening or just,
I would like to.
okay, okay,
I don't want to delay the opening
right,
for it,
right.
but if we can,
Do a photo op and
Yeah.
stuff and
Cut the ribbon.
cut the ribbon. Right, okay, we'll coordinate that.
I talked to the guy yesterday on the dump that they were grinding the concrete on the bridge for the rumble strips or whatever, and they're waiting on the Anderson. I think's done with their part. They're having to wait on private contractors to finish stuff. Is
Right.
what's taking so long.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
I told him just leave me the keys of the road grader where I can move it.
It's okay. Well, I got extra keys sitting there. Only last thing, just to, we're in, later this month, I can't remember the date, the 21st, 20th, I think. We'll have the auction for our surplus equipment and toolboxes and oddball stuff. One thing that we've done the past couple of days is reach between departments. And it's like Carolyn's got a truck that she doesn't use but a few times a year to haul mulch and things. Jason's got a dump truck that he uses a few times a year to haul that kind of stuff.
Consolidate that to one
Consolidate
truck.
one truck, and then we're gonna take that to Public Works, the one that Carolyn's got. And trying to get the crew cab trucks for the guys getting out there, so taking two trucks and take one truck. Trying to work on those things. We got,
Where's the auction gonna be?
down right
Just
there.
right here, okay.
Just remember, as a commissioner, you can't buy nothing.
No, but it's funny because I got a call on this like day before yesterday.
Immediate family.
They thought that, they seen somebody out there looked like taking inventory and was inquiring. I said, well, I know we'll do something, I just don't know when.
Right.
Yeah,
The
we
20th,
get
I
to do.
think.
Come on in, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We're still in the middle of our meeting, so hope your hair's brushed. You're on camera.
So there's teeth to brush.
That's it.
That's all I've got, but we talk about the ARPA funds, so, and, side note too, just informational, we've already talked among staff about this, but, we got notification from Tallahassee that we need to make sure we apply for some funds for the hurricane money, the $5 million that we've got, that, it won't look good for us if we don't, and we're asking other ways, so.
That's what brought it down here, really.
Say that again. What are we talking about?
So the Department of Commerce has got $5 million in a pot,
Rural
a rural infrastructure fund
Okay, all right.
for hurricane affected communities, and we need to make sure we apply for all or some of those.
Understood.
So my thought was this: we've done, the last application I did was for the cattle site, and I think we could reuse that application and easily ask for things that we could use out there for water and sewer.
Okay.
And we do not have enough money to keep running lines where we need to run lines, whether it's water or sewer.
Mhm.
So that's a perfect, easy fix. So,
I'm good with that.
Good with that. Okay, anything else?
All from me.
Good. All needs a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Hale. All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.
So if I would come earlier, would y'all have adjourned?